Hello, my name is Stacey Allen. I'm a teaching principal in Lindsay Road National School for the past 5 years. It is a 4-classroom multi-grade school with 1.5 special education teachers, 3 SNAs and a part-time secretary. We have a deputy principal and an AP2 post. There are many positives in teaching in a small school. You know all the children by name and their parents, and have usually taught all the children, either in your own class, through SET, or subbing for absences. It is easy to discuss things with staff and make decisions as a team because everyone is present, either at break or in staff meetings. There's a real community spirit and ability to monitor additional educational needs, support new staff, and to be available and visible in the school. I initially taught 5th and 6th class, though I moved into special education last year. I felt that I needed to move out of the classroom due to the increase in my principal responsibilities and the increasing challenge to keep on top of my teaching and assessment work. There are numerous responsibilities that have been given to principals in the last 5 years, including DRIHD, Irish exemptions, SET and SNA allocations, plus meetings with outside agencies such as NEPS, the NCSE and Inspectorate. This additional work is all alongside the day-to-day running of the school, reporting to the BOM, managing staff and any practical issues that may arise within the school building. I'm responsible for everything, from the finances down to the toilet paper. The Principal Release Day Cluster provides teaching principals with a consistent substitute 1 day per week for the whole school year. Previously, I had 23 days in which to manage the extra responsibilities and had to find a substitute myself. This led to a range of substitute teachers teaching my class with differing levels of success. Behaviour and learning suffered as a result. This release day has been years in the making and allows for a full day where time can be spent on management and leadership issues. The children respond better to having a teacher they know for the full school year, and behaviour is much better as a result. However, I have moved from the classroom into special education as I feel I cannot balance the needs of a classroom alongside the demands of being principal. While there is an even bigger responsibility in supporting children with additional educational needs, the planning requirement is more specific and contained, and there is space between breaks or students to take a quick phone call, answer a question or reply to an email if needed. Our school policy is to move classroom every 3 years. I cannot envision how I would manage a return to the classroom with the additional workload given to principals now. It helps to have a deputy principal and AP2 to distribute leadership and responsibility for some areas, but often the principal is still the person who has to sign off on something or to be consulted. Most meetings with outside agencies such as NEPS, NCSE, the CNO, DES, therapists, extracurricular providers or parents take place during the school day. The expectation is that you are always available as principal to take part in these meetings or to talk on the phone, when in fact you are teaching all day. The release day is a good support, but much of the time can be taken up by having to schedule all these interested parties on this one day, which eats into the to-do list you have or your planning time. Delays in providing information to principals, such as our SET and SNA allocations or main and supplementary panels, means that principals are left managing allocations and staffing needs in June or into the summer months. Most teaching principals will say they feel they are doing both jobs to a lesser standard, or that some days are more principal focused than teacher focused, and vice versa. The guilt that comes from feeling you are letting your class or staff down because of being spread too thin is constant. While our schools and staff are smaller in comparison to others, the requirement to teach means having to complete your planning at home, answer emails after hours, and to be hyper-organised so as not to miss anything. It is a challenge to have the resources to look at policies and school development when the day-to-day takes up so much time. The recent survey on principal well-being by the National Principals Forum highlighted the level of stress experienced by principals and how the role is becoming unsustainable. I love my school and enjoy being both principal and a teacher. I know all the children, interact with them all every day, and get to collaborate with the staff and feel part of the team. These things might not be possible if I was in the office all day. However, I strongly urge the DES to consider making all principals administrative principals, or at least, very least, giving us half of each week for principal release. It would allow me to manage the school and provide leadership in the way I do now, without the requirement to teach. It is better for the children in the classroom and with additional educational needs. It will also make the role of principal more sustainable, as those in the position will not become burned out or frustrated, and would hopefully reduce the turnover in school leaders.